Page 10. Page 11. Page 12. Page 13. Page 14. Page 15. Page 16. Page 17. Yes, Honorable Professor Kesi Nyarko.
The Speaker, with respect, on page 15, I need your guidance on motion 15. And if you wouldn't mind, I'll combine motions 12 and 13. Because Order 105 says that a motion, unless moved at the second reading or consideration state of a bill, shall be seconded, and if not seconded, shall not be debated or entered in the votes and proceedings. I've observed that motions 12 and 15, which are procedural, have been moved and seconded at the second reading and consideration stage. Is it the case that, because if you look at 13, when the motion was moved by the Honorable Minister for Education, it was not seconded, but rather the report was presented by the chairman of the committee. But under motion 15, the motion was moved by the Honorable Minister for Education, Ms. Haruna Iddrisu, and seconded by the Honorable Member for Cape Coast South, Mr. George Kweku. I want you to help me to appreciate.
Can you refer to the rules that deal specifically with second reading?
105.
Second reading relate to the rules in relation to second reading.
Second reading. The 167, right? Second reading of bills. 1671. When a motion is moved that a bill now read or read a second time, a full debate shall ensue on the basis of the explanatory.
Which are you reading?
You are saying I should read, because I read 105.
Mention just the provision that deals with second reading.
You mean
which order? Which order?
167, 167, 167, 123.
So read.
When a motion is moved that a bill be now read a second time, a full debate shall ensue on the basis of the explanatory memorandum and the report from the relevant committee. 2, the debate on the motion for the second reading shall also relate to the fiscal impact analysis of the bill and the effect on the economy generally. 3, where the motion is carried, the clerk shall read aloud the long title of the bill, and the bill shall be considered as read a second time.
At it clearly, there is no room for secondment, but it talks about a report of the committee. Yeah, so that should be the relevant order that guides the second reading stage.
Yeah.
That is why I ask you to look at, you see, we have a rules dealing generally with motions, and we have a specific rule dealing with second reading. And where there are specific rules, the specific rules take primacy over the general rules. So when you go to 167, dealing specifically with second readings, that is the rule that should guide the House.
I agree, but my contention is motion 15 under consideration. The motion was moved and seconded, and I'm saying that defeats Order 105, unless when it is the procedural motion, it can be.
Motion 15 is a procedural motion.
That's what I'm asking.
Yes, that is not the motion for second reading. So when you move a motion for a procedural motion, that procedural motion must be seconded.
That is the clarity I wanted from you.
Yes.
Because if you read Order 105, it doesn't come out clear. That was my confusion.
So the confusion is whether or not a procedural motion should be seconded.
My point is that, Mr. Speaker, if you take your time, 105 says that a motion, it is general, a motion, unless moved at the second reading or consideration stage of a bill, shall be seconded. And if not seconded, shall not be debated or entered in the vote. My point is that because it is general, we have procedural motion and the motion. But I've seen that all the procedural motions were moved and seconded. But if you look at this order, it says that it shouldn't be. And I'm saying that, is it the case that procedural motions can be seconded?
Honorable Professor, from Order 105, and let's read it together. A motion, unless moved at the second reading or consideration stage of a bill, shall be seconded, and if not seconded, shall not be debated or entered in the vote and proceedings. What this means is that a motion for second reading and a motion at a consideration stage are not seconded. And this is in line with the relevant order for second reading. That is 169. So apart from a motion for second reading and a motion at a consideration stage, all other motions, including a procedural motion, must be seconded. So there is no ambiguity and confusion about the standing order. If you look at standing order 105 together with standing order 167. So the motion 15 is a procedural motion, and within the meaning of the rules, not being a motion at a second reading, not being a motion at a consideration stage, must be seconded.
This is clear now. Thank you. Yeah.
Page 16.
For the year 2024, annual statement by the Audit Committee of the Office of the Administrator of Stool Lands for the year 2024.
Honourable members, numbered item 8C at page 4 of today's order paper have been duly presented, and it is referred to the Committee on Lands and Natural Resources for consideration report. Leader. Leader, you have the floor.
Mr. Speaker, I do agree that when ministers introduce bills here, it is proper that they are available to shepherd the bill through the various stages. But Mr. Speaker, let's ask ourselves the question, what essentially is third reading of a bill? What essentially is third reading of a bill? Does a minister play any role substantive in the sense that in the absence of the minister, this House misses an opportunity to get the right thing done? Mr. Speaker, we've already gone through consideration stage, which is the most, difficult, engaging, and policy involving part of the passage of legislation. Third reading by our standing orders, Order 172, if I may read, is where a bill has passed through the consideration stage, the third reading shall not be taken until at least one sitting day has elapsed. Upon a motion that the bill be now read the third time, any member may move an amendment to delete the word read the third time and to insert the word rejected, and to move a reasoned amendment stating the object and motive on which the opposition to the bill is based, but the motion must be strictly relevant to the bill. The clerk shall read aloud the long title of the bill. If the motion for the third reading is agreed to, the bill shall then be taken as read a third time and passed. So, Mr. Speaker, the minister really has, apart from moving the motion, I said, apart from moving the motion, the minister really doesn't have, a substantive role that will in any way, go into the essence of the bill, especially when we have finished the consideration stage. And Mr. Speaker, in this instance, and I know this minister, one, she's a member of parliament and would ordinarily have been here as a member of parliament. And number two, she is a minister of state, and I have observed her, she participates in the proceedings of this house. Indeed, she is one of the ministers that the minority leader consistently has questioned why she is here instead of being at her ministry working. I have heard the minority leader severally question her, ask her, why are you here instead of being at your ministry? So this is a minister who would have been here. But on this occasion, she is attending an international World Fisheries Conference in, I think, Italy. She's representing us in Italy at the conference. We would have ordinarily waited for her to return before we would take this bill through all the processes, but also because we have a deadline. And that was why when the bill was introduced, it was introduced under a certificate of urgency so that we could meet that deadline. So we can't wait for her to return from the conference. So, Mr. Speaker, I'm pleading with my friends opposite that let's allow the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources to move the motion on behalf of the Minister so that we can have this bill passed in order to meet the deadline. So I'm pleading with you, let's allow the motion to be moved by the Minister.
Honorable Habib.
Mr. Speaker, we strongly disagree with the majority leader. Mr. Speaker, if the majority leader look at our order paper on page 8, even though another minister with your permission or leave could have moved the motion. But Mr. Speaker, if you read our standing order very well in 172, it's very clear. The standing order 1721 says that where a bill has passed through the consideration stage, the third reading shall not be taken at least one sitting day. We finished the consideration stage, Mr. Speaker, last night at 9 p.m. The majority leader was here. So we have not been able to satisfy that provision in our standing order. And Mr. Speaker, even when we finish the consideration stage, what the proposed amendments that have been done have not been incorporated. We have not seen the bill. What was amended, what was proposed, none of us have seen the bill. We don't even have a copy of it to satisfy ourselves that has been the case. And Mr. Speaker, the practice of this house, you have been a senior person when it comes to drafting and then doing of these bills. Mr. Speaker, last night you presided. We left here around 9 p.m. We have not seen it. Whether they have finished with incorporating what was amended into the bill, we don't know yet. And we are rushing into a third reading. Mr. Speaker, we can take it tomorrow. Tomorrow, when we all see and we know that the amendment has been done, then we can do. Doing this one, Mr. Speaker, it will offend our rules and it will offend the practice of this house. And I don't think the majority leader should let us rush ourselves to go through this. If the bill is so that urgent, if the minister is not here and you say he's in Italy, even if we do the third consideration, where will he be to sign it? What's the rush? Where will he be to even... No, he definitely have to sign before he gets to the president. So who takes it to the president? So, Mr. Speaker, with respect, I don't think we should rush this. The minister is not there. He should come tomorrow. We will do the third reading. But doing it today, Majority Leader, it will offend the very rule that you quoted. It will offend our practice in this house. And we should not rush it. We only finished it last night, 9 p.m., Majority Leader. You were here. I saw you here when we were leaving. The Speaker presided, so we should not.
Member of Parliament for Tono.
Mr. Speaker.
I have always been drawing your attention to the fact that the bill is taken under a certificate of urgency. And if a bill is introduced and is being taken under a certificate of urgency, it may be taken through all the stages in one day. So your view that Order 1721 should apply, I have a problem with it. Because if you read 1724, exception has been provided with reference to Order 160. And Order 160 talks about taking a bill under a certificate of urgency.
In this house, we have often agreed to disagree. And for the love of country, for the love of our country, unless you want to say something. Speaker, the respected Majority Leader has made copious appeal to us, and we'll respect him.
He was begging.
So we will give in to that. We will give in to that. Yes, I heard him. We will give in to that, and so they can proceed with it.
Very well. Before the minister moves to do the third reading, Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Let me once again introduce the student from Smartest Starters Kid Academy.